Good afternoon, I'm Jacinta with 2NURFM Hunter News. A man has been arrested over last Friday's brutal stabbing through a car window in Newcastle East. The man is alleged to have run towards the victim's car on Steele Street and stabbed him repeatedly through an open window before a female cyclist intervened. A 35-year-old Beresfield man was apprehended yesterday, however he will not be charged with the alleged crime after the victim refused to provide a statement. He has been charged with affray and wielding a knife in a public place and will appear in Newcastle local court next month. The Environment Protection Authority is visiting the RAF base today, months after the Williamtown toxic leak. It's the first time since the crisis EPA officers have been on base. They'll be investigating the leak as well as touring the site. The sources of the leak will be looked at, including the firefighting training pits and Lake Cochrane. Community service groups say more needs to be done in the fight against the Hunters' housing crisis. Local MPs sat down to a roundtable meeting yesterday with the CEO of Nova to address a lack of affordable housing in the region, as well as high levels of child poverty. Maitland MP Jenny Aitchison says community services are coping with an influx of people in need.
Our youth unemployment is 21%. People just don't have money coming in. There's government services that used to be there to support them are no longer able to provide the same assistance. That's putting more pressure on community services, where they used to be really looking after those people who weren't eligible for government services. Now they're taking on a bigger and bigger load as government pulls away.
CEO of Nova, Kelly Hansen, says housing young people on youth allowance or New Start can be especially difficult.
The housing crisis isn't new, it's getting worse. We've had a housing crisis for quite a few years now. There is no affordable houses in the private rental market for anybody on New Start in the Hunter region.
The state and federal government will today receive nominations for black spots in the Hunter region. Newcastle Airport and its surrounding areas will be one of the nominated areas. Parliamentary Secretary for the Hunter, Scott McDonald, says reducing black spots will have a number of benefits.
It's a range of needs that we've got. The economics is very important in some of the areas that are growing. There's also safety issues. The emergency services are relying more and more on mobile phone coverage. The community is relying on coverage for their safety, and we saw that in the April storms, that people have less reliance these days on fixed lines.
Kurri Kurri Public Library has been awarded a grant from the state government to fund their local project, the Library Roadshow. The event will be held next year with young adult author Tristan Banks attending the library along with 8 LGA schools. Cessnock MP Clayton Barr says the event is an example of the library's community connections.
Kurri Kurri Library has a wonderful reputation and history of being heavily engaged with its local community. It's diagonally across the road from Kurri Primary School. So their history and record of attracting people to the library is strong, and this will only further enhance that.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club.
The Jets will be looking to improve on last week's form as they face a reinvigorated Adelaide United. Jets coach Scott Miller is counting on fresh faces like local utility Nick Cowburn when they go up against the Reds.
Their dynamics changed a little bit. They're making a lot more forward runs from midfield. You know, that rotation through midfield is greater, but confidence is massive. They've obviously changed their number 9. Gite came off the bench last week as well. So, I mean, things can change so quickly, and that's what I'm learning very quickly as well. Things can change dramatically within 2 or 3 results.
Former Knights Director of Football and coach Michael Hagan has declared the club's best chance for survival is under West's group leadership. Hagan says West will be the key to a financially viable future for the Knights. Maitland's own Toby Price has begun his preparations for the next instalment of the Dakar Rally. Price will be riding for the Red Bull KTM Factory Rally team. He's only the second Australian to stand on the Dakar podium. And Merriweather fast bowler Michael Hogan is quickly approaching his 200th Sheffield Shield wicket. 2NURFM News Time is coming up to 12:10.